Use this do-it-yourself beeswax cutting board paste to protect your wooden utensils. My father-in-law made this for me about 40 years ago, so I want to be able to pass it down to the grandchildren so they will have something to remember their great-grandfather for. And I have rubbed this salve all over it, and I'm going to let it set for 24 hours, and I'll come back and polish it up. Now, this is another old rolling pin that I had. I really don't remember where I got it from, but I polished it up to help preserve it. And just see, and this is just like making any kind of beeswax salve. This is just mineral oil and beeswax. And follow me as we make the recipe. Okay, we're going to start off weighing 135 grams of food-grade mineral oil and 35 grams of beeswax. Now, any mineral oil that states it is a laxative is food grade. Now, do not trust mineral oil coming from a hardware store. Now, other recipes might be a cup of mineral oil to 2 ounces of beeswax, or you can even use a ratio of 4-to-1, a ratio of mineral oil to beeswax. Just heat the beeswax and mineral oil together until the beeswax is completely melted and everything is stirred up together. Now pour into a wide mouth container. A wide mouth short jar would be okay, but remember you've got to get your hands in it. And this recipe will make 3 2-ounce containers. Now you want to let this salve completely cool before capping it. Rub down your kitchen utensil using a clean cloth or even a paper towel and let it set overnight. Now the longer it sets on the wood, the more the mineral oil will soak into the wood as the beeswax solidifies on top of the surface. You're going to have to rub them down, and I don't know, as cheap as all your wooden things are nowadays, how many people would go to the trouble to do this. But if you had something that was really vintage or a keepsake, you'd probably really want to take care of it. I have the biggest kitchen wooden utensils I have are really my wooden spoons. So let me give them a good polish. And I guess this is kind of like when people used to polish their silverware. Who would ever thought you had to polish your wooden utensils? Okay, now here I guess would be my really big cutting board. Just really. And it really, I guess, if you had a vintage high chair that still had the wooden trays, you could certainly use this for the tray part. Here is, back when I was doing herb classes, I needed all my students to have a rolling pin. So I had my husband go out and buy a dowel, and he cut it into these pieces. And I never did anything to them. We just used them like they were. So I thought it might be a good time to condition them. Now when caring for your wood utensils, first of course you want to clean it. You want to scrape off stuck bits of flour or food. You want to rub it down with hot soapy water and rinse, but do not submerge it in water or put it in the dishwasher. Rub it down with your homemade beeswax paste and let it set overnight and then polish. Now this does not make your wooden utensils waterproof, but water repellent. It's going to add a layer of protection, a light luster, and that wonderful slight beeswax aroma. Now, if it has odors on it and you feel like you need to sanitize it, wipe down with white vinegar or lemon juice and let it set overnight. Like, subscribe, and share so you don't miss any of these cooking tips along with other recipes.